Great day, everybody. Greetings, greetings. Today's episode, we have Ajaluna and Kiyona here, who are doulas along with myself, and we'll be talking about what it is to be a doula, our experiences, as well as our respective businesses. So right now, I will have Ajaluna introduce herself, and then we'll flow into Kiyona.
All right, hello, beautiful people. I am Ajaluna. I also go by Kassandra, and I am the founder of Ajaluna Wellness. We are a business where we provide healing modalities and allow you to be able to align your mind, body, spirit, and financial well-being. And of course, all of that is incorporated into our doula services as well.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kiyona, and I am the founder of Key to Shanti, which is a boutique wellness business and brand focusing on helping people unlock their peace through mindful movement, doula services, and wellness retreats.
Awesome. And of course, I am Yali Giovanni. I have Balance and Beyond Healing Oasis and Asunjali Doula Care, also in the holistic wellness space where we provide doula services. And my services also include end of life, which is the favorite part. I hate to say it, but it is my favorite part because there's a different tone to that specific work. And I'm also holistic specialist, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I want to go in more and deep dive into what we do and why we do it. I became a doula after my grandson was born because I was present for his arrival. My daughter decided to do a home birth and she had her doula, she had a midwife, and I was like, oh my God, I can do this. Like, this is so beautiful, right? And so after I experienced that, I started searching for doula programs and I couldn't find one. And then the ones that I did find, I didn't feel like it resonated too much with me. The energy was off. So I said, you know what, let me put it to the side. And when the time is right, it will come to me. And just like that, I met Ajaluna. And Ajaluna was like, you know what? I did this program. Let me share the information with you. And boom, here we are as doula through the same networking. As far as experiences with being a doula, what is your best part of the experience as you being a doula and helping your client?
I would like to lean into the gratitude that the mothers show. You
Yeah.
know, even sometimes the fathers will be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. You're so
Mhm.
knowledgeable." Like it's like they're shocked
Yeah.
that there's someone else coming in to provide that sacred space for them and to provide knowledge to their partner
Right.
and to ensure that they are really in a good mindset, spiritually aligned. It's just amazing, the gratitude, I would say.
I think for me, it is definitely helping to combat the anxiety. As someone who has dealt with anxiety off and on for many years, I know that that is a major part, especially for first-time moms. You're stepping into the unknown. You don't know what to expect. And
Right.
some of the ways that we combat that anxiety is knowledge. It is giving you the resources and the tools and being that safe space where you can just express, hey, I'm
Right.
scared. I don't know. Having someone that you can say and not feel like, okay, I'm burdening my friends and my family by continuing to talk about my fear. You could
Right.
talk about it all day with me. And so
Right.
I think providing that space where people can start to unpack and provide a healing balm on those fears is one
Yeah.
of my favorite parts of being a doula.
I love that intertwining with what you both have said, right? Because for when it comes to the partner, they don't know. So whenever we come in and we're sharing information, they're really amazed, like, wow, all this happened, or I didn't know you could do this, or I wasn't aware of this, right? And then with the mom, they're also in awe because they oftentimes don't have the information either and are excited to know that there's so many opportunities out there when it comes to having a doula, right? Because we're
Mhm.
not just helping you deliver your baby, we're like your coach. We're there for you through and through. And so that experience alone always sets them like in an awe space that I'm grateful that we're all doing that work because we're adding value to these not only mothers to be, right, but to the partnership, the whole family. What would you say is an experience that you have had that was, or if you haven't yet, that was surprising as you were journeying through your client or a client?
I would say it's the interventions,
Okay.
the varying interventions that can come across in the hospital setting.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I feel like there's a lack of knowledge when it comes to the pain medication that can be administered to the mothers. You know, There are varying levels. There could be IV medication, there could be
Yeah,
even the nitrous oxide, which a lot of them have no idea that that exists, which is, for those that don't know, is a laughing gas. And then, of course, there's the epidural. So I would say it's the multitude of interventions that could happen that could also affect the experience of the mother. You
yes,
know, sometimes you can have these medications administered and then you're out of it. It's
yes,
like you wanted to have this beautiful experience, but now you're mentally just so high off of something that you don't even know what's going on.
When I had this experience, but also could be surprising to other people is that it can be fun. And so
yeah.
during the most recent birth, we had our playlist jamming and like the whole team, as they came in, everybody's dancing and you're like, it's a birthday party.
Period.
That people sometimes think of birth as like, oh my God, it's so serious. And it is. Like we're not making light of it. However, I think that the whole team, we have the energy to shift we have the power to shift the energy in the space. And I
Absolutely.
think having everybody, the nurses, the midwife, me, the husband, like everybody on board with, you know what, it's a birthday party and we in there jamming and dancing, it does change the atmosphere. And so I think that is surprising probably for a lot of people is that there still can be fun in it. We still can joke in between contractions. Like it
Right,
doesn't have to be this whole time of this solemn mood and this whole time of we're just sitting here like looking around waiting for the baby to come. Like there is fun infused into that experience and it can be.
right. And I love the fact that you call it a birthday party because it is a birthday
It's our
party when you think
birthday.
about it.
And I love to dance, so I'm ready for a birthday party all the time.
Period. The experience I had with my daughter, one of the pieces was me making her feel comfortable and her boyfriend feeling comfortable at the same time because I know I can be a bit overbearing. I'm just gonna admit it, ain't no lie to that. I can be like, Mama Bear, do this, do this, do that. But through that process, the soft mother came out and just the awe of the experience from this angle was amazing because I had all three births naturally, but it was in the hospital. Unconscious about doula and midwife and natural birth, right? Because I was young, I was 19, 21, and then the last one I was 30, I was old. So by the time I got to the hospital, y'all, there was no time for me to get no epidural or whatever else they had at that time. But it was just watching the whole process. And I felt an energy shift. When he came in, he came out into that water like, hey, I'm here. It was just so cute,
Yeah, they
right?
got enough for me.
Yeah, he was just, and then he looked exactly like his dad, right?
Mm.
So it was like, wow. And like he came out and literally when he came out and he floated up, he floated right into her arms. It was just the most beautiful experience that I could imagine, which made me say, you know what? Why can't I do this? I can do this. I already have experience working in pediatrics. I have experience working in OB/GYN. This will be something that I can add, not only because I've worked in the health field, but because I already have experience in it. So why not add this amazing piece to it? I'm grateful for the experience. I can say that. From your end, as a doula and experiencing the birth, what comes to mind?
I mean, I just think it's beautiful to witness. It's a beautiful thing to experience. I think that one of the things that we all forget is that we all naturally, as women, we have the wisdom that comes from our womb. And
Correct.
so whether you've carried a baby or not, there are
Hmm.
certain things that you're just going to intuitively know, you're going to intuitively be inclined to. And being able to watch and witness a baby, first of all, continue to grow as you're helping the mother through the process and then come through earthside. It's like witnessing a miracle. It is witnessing a
It is
miracle.
a miracle.
And it is
Absolutely.
beautiful to see every single time. It's beautiful to see the mother express her softness and her strength and so many different elements of herself all in one experience.
Hmm.
I agree. I will say from just thinking of the first birth, because you're like, okay, I've never done this before.
Right.
Let me make sure I'm here doing what I need to do, supporting. I can't be like,
Yeah.
oh, ignore that pain. Like, no, you're sitting in it, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but it is, I would agree with Kiana, it's a beautiful experience. Even when you're seeing the baby's head pop out, it's like, oh, it's happening. And it's like you're telling
Yeah.
her, girl, it's happening right now. Like, just
Yeah.
let it be, calm yourself.
Mhm.
trust the baby is
Yeah.
one of the things I tell the ladies all the time. Like, your baby already knows when it's time to come out, when it's time to shift
Mm.
and be up to your breast for lactation. Like, you just have to really just trust the divine being and trust yourself as well as your baby.
Awesome. Do you encourage your mommies to breastfeed?
I told my moms the benefits of breast milk
Hmm.
and, tell them about the different support that is available, not only
Yeah.
through me being their doula, but also lactation specialists and counselors. But ultimately, when it comes to being a doula, I love for people to arrive at all of their decisions on their
Yeah.
own. But, of course, I'm going to always tell them the benefits and why breastfeeding is a great choice. But ultimately, people are going to make the decision that they feel is best for them.
And that's true. I think it's important that we understand what the benefits are for us to share with the moms because I remember when I had my first Alexis, the nurse encouraged me to breastfeed, but the way she came about it, it was forceful. And so it turned me off. So even if I had the thought of breastfeeding, her demeanor, her aggression was like, no, you're not going to tell me what to do. Type of thing. So I went ahead and gave her Similac. Yeah, I was young. I was only 19, but looking back, I'm like, dang, maybe I should have listened and breastfed her, right? I breastfed my last daughter. She latched on immediately. She was not playing about that milk. And I breastfed her until she was 3 because she was not giving up. And the only reason I stopped, it was because she bit me and she gave me the look like, ah, like that. And I was like, oh no, little one, not done. So I stopped breastfeeding her because of that. But just knowing the benefits of it is amazing. And the way we deliver it, I think also is so beneficial because it truly helps them make the decision as to whether they're going to breastfeed or they're going to give them the Similac.
Similar, I don't tell them what to do. It's their
Yeah.
body. They have full autonomy over what it is they want to do with themselves and their
Right.
baby. Do allow them to have grace though,
Mhm.
especially if they're are low on milk supply and have to switch over to the formula, it's not going to hurt baby. It's
Right.
going to be able to feed and provide the nutrition. Your
Yeah.
body is going to produce the milk when needed, and it's life. Everything is
Yeah.
not going to be the journey that you think it's going to be. Just honor it and
Yeah.
just move with it. Feed the baby, please.
Yes.
Like, that's one of the main things. So I just want people to know, like, give yourself grace if you do have to switch over to formula. Breastfeeding is not the easiest thing.
It's
After a
not.
while, like you said, you got bit. Like, who wants to
Mhm.
get bit all the time?
Right.
Like, things just happen, and you have to really just honor the process.
And you're right, because it's painful in the beginning. And then you have, well, I experienced, I would say from my experience, I had a thought like, man, maybe, maybe this is not for me because it was so painful. But the nurse was encouraging me to keep going, even if it's just a little, or say a prayer as the baby's feeding so that you don't feel it. That was an amazing, amazing piece of you sharing that it's painful and you might not want to go through it, right? Do you have the resources listed on your website? How is it that you provide the resources to your customers or your
It's funny you mentioned that because Kiana and I had a conversation as well about resources. One thing that I do, I don't like to force everything
right,
to everyone, because some people are taken aback, like, who told you I needed that?
right?
So it really depends on the conversations that I have with my ladies, and that's the resources that I funnel out to them directly. I
Mm-hmm,
typically send them via email, like I'll do like a summary listing the resources that we
mm-hmm,
had, or if they need something right then and there, I'll send it via text. But I do intend to have something as like a guide to
uh-huh.
provide to the clientele. It's not necessary to provide it on the website unless it's going to be
Okay.
like an addition, like saying, oh, you get a resource guide. But that's kind of like how I go about funneling that information.
I have the same approach. And,
Yeah.
one thing about us is we're each other's backup doula. And so we
Oh,
communicate.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
communicate a lot. And, some of our approaches are similar
Yeah.
in the way that we, support our clients. So, yes, very
That's
similar.
beautiful. That's beautiful. Do you all have a quote that you normally use on a daily basis or just a quote at all? It's just a phrase that you say to yourself. Like for me, I say like I'm divinely guided and protected. And that's enough for me. So do you have a phrase that you say to yourself that kind of like gives you that energy that you need?
I don't know if like I have anything. It depends on the day, to be honest.
Okay.
Like
That's
sometimes
fair.
I'm like, I am a money magnet. And then one day I'm like, I hold space and gratitude for all that I have.
Absolutely.
And it really just depends on the energy that I am surrounded with.
That's true. That plays a big part too.
I think that
Absolutely.
for me, it's more of a song. So
Uh-huh.
there's a song that a friend introduced me to when I first began teaching yoga,
Hmm.
and it's called "You Are Enough." And the
Oh,
artist's name is Selah. And
okay.
I love the song because the lyrics go, "You are enough. You have everything you need to succeed." I play it a lot in my classes because
Okay.
I think that especially when you're walking into a new environment, and birth is new every single time.
Right.
Every single time you could attend many, many births, and you're going to find something new each time. And so I think there is even a little bit of fear within us, a healthy amount of fear that of us
Yeah.
as we go into it. And that's one thing that I remind myself, even in the things that I don't know, I am enough. Even in the things that I'm still learning, there is still a lot of value in what I add to a situation. So that is a great reminder that I like to share with myself and with my clients.
For me,
I love
I've
that.
done more end of life than birth, and I've done four. And for me, when I see that they're getting ready to leave, I can't explain it. And it's different with each client. I always tell them, go gain your wings. You got it. God is waiting for you. That door is open. You don't have to hold on anymore. We're over here, we're gonna be good. And sometimes I either get a smile, and if they can't talk, like I've had two that couldn't talk, you'll see the tears, and I say, I received that tear now. Go ahead on. We're gonna be all right. That's usually what I share with my clients as far as in the life. So where can our listeners find you?
My website is www.ajaluna.com. So that's www.ajaluna.com. You can also find me on all platforms at Ajaluna Wellness.
I am at Kita Shanti. That is KIY, the number two, SHANTI on all platforms, and www.key2shanti.com.
Awesome. And I am at yaligiovanni.com. Anything you need, you can find it on there. Gratitude, ladies, for joining me today. We will be doing this
Thank
again.
you.
Okay. So I
Great.
appreciate your presence. And one more thing that I want to share with everyone is that reach out to these young ladies because we always have something going on,
Mhm.
whether it's a retreat that's away or retreat that's local, whether it's a yoga class, whether it's a meditation, whatever it is, check us out. Okay. Gratitude once again for tuning in, guys. I hope this conversation inspired you, and see you later.